Have you ever wondered what happens to your soul when you die? It's one of life's greatest mysteries, yet the answer is often more accessible than we think. The idea of death can stir up fear, uncertainty, and even anxiety. But what if death isn't something to fear? What if it's just another step in a much grander journey, one that is influenced by how we live, think, and act in this very moment? Buddhism offers a radically different perspective, where death isn't the end, but rather a transformation of energy, a continuation of the cycle of life. If you've been searching for answers about life, death, and the path to liberation, you're in the right place. This isn't just about theories or abstract concepts. We're talking about practical spiritual practices that can impact your life now and in the afterlife. Imagine living a life where you're not only thriving in abundance and prosperity, but preparing your soul for the next phase with clarity and peace. Sounds intriguing, right? In the next few minutes, you'll uncover the profound truths that Buddhism teaches about the soul, the cycle of rebirth, and how the choices you make today shape your future. These insights may challenge your current beliefs and offer a deeper understanding of your place in the universe. But don't worry, we're going to break it all down in a way that's easy to grasp, yet deeply transformative. Let's dive into this journey together, and perhaps by the end, you'll see death not as an end, but as an opportunity for growth, freedom, and unshakable peace. Buddhism's concept of anatta, or no self, shakes the foundations of what most people believe about identity. Unlike the idea of an eternal soul that defines you forever, this perspective asserts that there's no permanent, unchanging self. Think of it this way. Just as a river constantly flows and changes, so do our thoughts, emotions, and even our physical form. Isn't it freeing to realize that you're not bound by a fixed identity? This notion doesn't diminish who you are, it deepens the mystery of what it means to be. Imagine you've been wearing a mask your entire life, thinking it's your true face. Buddhism gently asks you to take it off. The mask is the illusion of self, shaped by habits, beliefs, and experiences. What happens when the mask comes off? You begin to see yourself as a collection of ever-shifting experiences rather than a static being. It's like gazing at the stars, noticing their beauty without needing to claim one as your own. Take a moment to reflect on the roles you've played in life. Student, partner, parent, professional. These roles feel real, but they're like costumes in a play. The essence of you isn't tied to them. This insight is the beginning of profound freedom. Think of the Buddha himself. He left behind the titles of prince and heir to embrace a journey of self-discovery. And if he could let go of such grandeur, what might we discover if we loosen our grip on our identities? Here's a practical way to explore this. Sit quietly and observe your thoughts for 5 minutes. Notice how they come and go, like waves in the ocean. Do they define you? Hardly. They're like passengers on a bus, each staying only for a while. This practice not only brings clarity, but also helps you detach from the stress of labeling yourself. In our modern world, where people are obsessed with defining themselves by careers, possessions, or achievements, the idea of having no permanent soul feels revolutionary. It's as if Buddhism hands you a key to escape the prison of societal expectations. Wealth, prosperity, and even abundance take on a new meaning when you realize they aren't tied to your sense of self. They're simply tools for the journey. Consider how this perspective can change relationships. If neither you nor others have a fixed identity, it's easier to forgive, let go, and embrace people as they are right now. Relationships become less about ownership and more about shared experiences. It's like a dance where both partners adapt to the rhythm instead of clinging to old steps. So, if there's no permanent soul, what remains? What connects you to the flow of life, prosperity, and the universal energy? This question leads us to the next intriguing idea, the cycle of rebirth. The cycle of samsara, birth, death, and rebirth, is at the heart of Buddhist teachings. It's like being on a never-ending carousel, where each turn represents a new life shaped by the actions of the past. Imagine the decisions you make today setting the stage for your next existence. How empowering is that? The Buddha taught that understanding this cycle is key to breaking free from it, leading to ultimate liberation. Think of life as a movie with multiple sequels. Each installment is connected, but the story evolves based on what happened before. If this life is your current chapter, then your actions, thoughts, and intentions are the scriptwriters for the next. For instance, practicing compassion now might pave the way for a life filled with abundance and connection. On the flip side, harboring anger or greed may lead to challenges down the road. A real-life example of this is planting a seed. When you plant kindness, patience, or generosity, it's like sowing seeds of prosperity and wealth. Not necessarily in material terms, but in a life that feels rich and fulfilling. Picture a gardener tending to their soil with care, knowing the fruits they harvest will nourish their future. That's how samsara works. Your present efforts shape the quality of the lives to come. This perspective can be deeply comforting. Have you ever faced a difficult phase in life and wondered, why me? Buddhism suggests that challenges aren't random, but are connected to actions in past lives. It's not about blame, but about empowerment, recognizing that the choices you make now can rewrite your future. Imagine carrying the weight of past mistakes, but realizing you can lighten that load with each good deed. Let's take a practical step here. Reflect on a small act of kindness you can do today, whether it's helping a stranger, offering a sincere compliment, or donating to a cause. These actions ripple through samsara, shaping not only this life, but the ones to come. Prosperity isn't just about wealth in this life. It's about planting seeds that lead to spiritual richness across lifetimes. Even in modern terms, we see echoes of this cycle. Think about athletes or musicians who seem born with extraordinary talent. Could it be that their skills stem from dedication in past lives? Samsara reminds us that nothing is wasted. Every effort, every intention builds momentum. It's a reminder to invest in what truly matters, like wisdom, spirituality, and the pursuit of inner peace. But the carousel of samsara isn't endless unless you choose to stay on it. So how do we break free from this cycle and experience true liberation? To answer that, we must first understand the role of karma and how it shapes our path forward. Karma is the invisible thread weaving through the cycle of rebirth, tying actions to consequences. In Buddhism, it's not about punishment or reward, but about balance and cause-effect. Think of it as planting seeds in a garden. Your actions are the seeds, and your life experiences are the harvest. If you plant generosity and kindness, you'll reap abundance and peace. Plant anger and greed, and the weeds of struggle will follow. Imagine karma as a bank account. Each kind deed or virtuous thought deposits wealth into your spiritual balance. Conversely, harmful actions drain your account, leaving you spiritually impoverished. Have you ever felt an inexplicable sense of fulfillment after helping someone? That's karma at work, depositing blessings into your spiritual reserves. It's a system as fair as gravity. It simply reflects what you put into it. Let's make this real. Say you smile at a stranger on a tough day. That smile could uplift their spirits and inspire them to pass on the kindness. This ripple effect of good energy extends far beyond what we see, touching lives in ways we may never know. Buddhism teaches that even the smallest actions matter. A kind word, a thoughtful gesture, or even a moment of patience can transform not only your future, but the collective energy around you. But karma isn't just about the future. It's also about the present. Have you noticed how certain actions instantly bring peace, while others leave a sense of unease? This is karma, reminding you that prosperity isn't just a distant reward. It's something you can feel in the here and now. Like the Buddha said, happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. Now, let's take a practical approach. Start your day by consciously choosing 3 positive actions. Perhaps meditating for clarity, practicing gratitude for your abundance, or helping someone without expecting anything in return. These actions may seem small, but they have the power to shift your karmic energy in profound ways, enriching your spiritual journey. Karma also teaches us accountability. When faced with challenges, it's tempting to blame external forces, but Buddhism nudges us to look within. The hardships you face might stem from seeds planted long ago. Recognizing this isn't about guilt, it's about reclaiming your power. When you understand that your current actions shape your future, you hold the pen to rewrite your destiny. So, how does karma determine where you go next in the cycle of rebirth? This question leads us to the intriguing transitional space known as the Bardo state, where the soul's next destination begins to unfold. In Tibetan Buddhism, The bardo is a fascinating and mysterious transitional state that bridges death and rebirth. Imagine standing at a crossroads where your next destination is determined by the choices you've made and the energy you carry. The bardo is not just a waiting room, it's a profound spiritual opportunity. During this time, the soul encounters visions and experiences that reflect its past karma, creating the blueprint for what comes next. Think of it like a dream. Just as your subconscious weaves imagery based on your waking life, the bardo mirrors your actions, thoughts, and emotions. For example, a person who has cultivated compassion may experience peaceful and uplifting visions, while unresolved negativity might manifest as turbulence. This isn't about judgment, it's about alignment. The bardo reveals the energy you've built, much like a mirror reflecting your inner state. The concept of the bardo also teaches us about the impermanence of all things. It's a reminder that even after death, transformation is constant. Imagine a river flowing into an ocean. Its form changes, but its essence remains. The bardo carries the soul through this fluid transition, much like a journey across a bridge. This perspective can bring comfort, especially when facing loss or contemplating mortality. Here's an interesting parallel. Think of the bardo as the moment between falling asleep and dreaming. It's that fleeting space where you're neither fully awake nor entirely unconscious. Tibetan Buddhists believe this state is a window of heightened awareness. Meditation, chanting, or even holding on to a single positive thought during life can influence what unfolds in this liminal space. For a practical connection, consider creating moments of stillness in your daily life. Close your eyes and imagine yourself standing in a vast, open field. Visualize releasing all your worries and embracing a sense of peace. This simple practice trains your mind to find calm, even in uncertainty, mirroring the clarity needed in the bardo state. The teachings of the bardo also inspire us to live with greater intentionality. If the experiences after death are shaped by our actions now, why not make every moment count? Whether it's through mindfulness, gratitude, or service, each act builds the energy that carries forward. The bardo reminds us that the journey isn't over, it's just shifting form. So what happens after this transitional state? Does the soul return to the carousel of samsara, or does it break free into liberation? The answer lies in understanding the ultimate goal of rebirth or attaining nirvana. The end of the bardo leads to two potential paths, rebirth or liberation. For most, the cycle of samsara continues, a return to life shaped by karma. But for those who've attained enlightenment, there's freedom, nirvana. Imagine stepping off a spinning wheel after lifetimes of motion, finding stillness and peace. Nirvana isn't a place but a state of being where suffering dissolves, replaced by profound clarity and liberation. Think of rebirth like restarting a game. Each new life gives you another chance to refine your actions and grow spiritually. Some may be born into abundance, others into hardship, all determined by past karma. But here's the twist. Every moment, even now, offers an opportunity to shift your trajectory. The Buddha often said, "It is never too late to begin." Imagine the power of shaping your next chapter while living this one. Liberation, on the other hand, is like graduating from the school of existence. Once you've learned the lessons of life, compassion, detachment, and mindfulness, you no longer need to return. It's not about escaping life, but transcending it. Enlightened beings like the Buddha remain as beacons of what's possible. Their stories remind us that spiritual wealth far outweighs material prosperity. A practical approach to this concept is mindfulness. Take a moment to pause and observe your breath. Notice how it flows in and out without effort. This practice mirrors the journey toward liberation, letting go of clinging and simply being. Regular meditation or chanting can help align your mind with these truths, preparing you for what comes after this life. Real-life examples of rebirth or liberation can be found in nature. Consider a butterfly emerging from its chrysalis. The caterpillar doesn't cease to exist. It transforms into something freer and more beautiful. Similarly, spiritual transformation allows us to shed old patterns and embrace higher states of being. Each lifetime is an opportunity to inch closer to this ultimate freedom. For those who wonder, what's the point of striving for liberation? Buddhism offers a compelling answer. True prosperity lies in freedom from suffering. It's not just about escaping pain, but about discovering a state of existence filled with joy, clarity, and universal connection. Imagine living a life where you're no longer weighed down by fear, greed, or attachment. Isn't that the ultimate form of abundance? Yet, what determines the path we take, rebirth or liberation? The answer lies in the moment of death and the mental state we cultivate in our final breaths. This delicate balance guides us to our next phase, bridging the concepts of rebirth with the profound impact of our mental state at the time of passing. In Buddhism, the moment of death holds extraordinary significance. It's believed that your mental state at the time of passing can shape the trajectory of your next life, or even determine if liberation is possible. Imagine standing at a crossroads where your thoughts become the compass guiding your journey. The Buddha taught that cultivating a calm, clear mind at the end of life is crucial to navigating this transition. Think of it like setting the tone for a journey. If you begin a trip with focus and intention, you're likely to have a smooth experience. But if you start in chaos or fear, the road ahead might reflect that turbulence. This is why spiritual practices like mindfulness and meditation are invaluable. They help you prepare for that pivotal moment, ensuring your mental energy is aligned with peace and clarity. A practical way to grasp this concept is through visualization. Picture a candle flickering in a dark room. If you shield it from wind, the flame burns steadily, just as a calm mind remains steady amidst life's uncertainties. But if you let distractions and negativity blow against it, the flame wavers. This is the power of mental discipline, your ability to protect that inner light, even in challenging times. In some Buddhist traditions, family members chant or recite prayers near the dying to create a peaceful atmosphere. These practices aren't just ceremonial, they're deeply intentional, designed to guide the person's mind toward tranquility. Imagine the comfort of hearing soothing words and feeling supported as you transition. It's a reminder of how interconnected we are, even in the most individual journey of death. This concept also invites reflection on how you live now. If your final thoughts reflect the life you've led, wouldn't it make sense to nurture kindness, generosity, and mindfulness every day? For example, practicing gratitude daily can shape your mental landscape, ensuring that positivity becomes second nature, even in life's final moments. Prosperity isn't just about wealth, it's about cultivating a rich inner world that endures beyond this life. The mental state at death also reveals a profound truth. Nothing is fixed. Your destiny isn't carved in stone, it's molded by your choices, moment by moment. Have you ever seen a sunset transform the sky in minutes? That's how quickly your inner state can shift. The beauty of Buddhism is in its emphasis on possibility. Each moment holds the potential for transformation. So how does this mental state influence the transition after death? And how does energy itself play a role in shaping what comes next? These questions lead us to the concept of death as an energy transformation, not an ending, but a shift in form. Buddhism views death not as an end, but as a transformation of energy. Imagine water evaporating into the sky. It doesn't disappear but changes form, continuing its journey in a different state. Similarly, the energy that animates life shifts after death, flowing into new experiences or higher realms. This perspective removes the fear of finality, replacing it with a sense of continuity and interconnectedness. Think about a flame transferring from one candle to another. The original flame doesn't cease to exist, it simply gives rise to a new light. This is how energy operates within the cycle of life and death. Your actions, thoughts, and intentions fuel this transformation, much like wind directing the course of a river. This view encourages mindfulness of how we live, knowing our energy doesn't vanish but evolves. Here's a practical association. Imagine planting a tree. The seed grows into a sapling, then a towering oak, but it's still connected to its roots. Death in Buddhism is much the same, an evolution of form, yet always tied to the essence of who we are. Understanding this can inspire us to nurture the seeds of kindness, wisdom, and compassion, knowing they'll carry forward in some way. This energy transformation also reminds us of the impermanence of life. Just as seasons shift and stars burn out, everything changes. Have you ever watched a sunset melt into darkness, only to see the stars emerge? It's a natural cycle, one that reflects the way our energy transitions. Death isn't an erasure. It's a doorway to the next phase of existence, governed by the laws of karma and interconnection. Buddhist practices, like meditation and chanting, tap into this transformative energy. For example, chanting a mantra like Om Mani Padme Hum isn't just spiritual. It's a way of harmonizing your energy, aligning it with higher vibrations. This practice helps prepare the mind for the inevitable transition, ensuring that your energy moves gracefully into its next state. Even in science, energy is neither created nor destroyed, it simply changes form. This universal truth aligns beautifully with Buddhist teachings. When you reflect on the idea that your energy persists, it can transform how you live. Instead of fearing the unknown, you might embrace each moment as an opportunity to shape the legacy of your energy, ensuring it carries abundance and prosperity forward. But how does this transformation tie into the grander scheme of things? It's not just about individual energy, it's about the universal web of existence. Death reminds us that we're deeply interconnected, part of a larger cosmic dance. This sets the stage for exploring how the soul's journey transcends individuality, weaving into the fabric of the universe itself. Buddhism teaches that the soul is not an isolated entity, but an inseparable part of the universe's grand web of interconnection. Imagine the ocean. Each wave appears separate, yet it's always part of the larger body of water. Similarly, what we perceive as individual existence is deeply tied to everything around us. This understanding shifts the focus from me to we, dissolving the illusion of separateness. Think about how a single tree supports countless lives: birds, insects, and even the air we breathe. The tree thrives because of the sun, rain, and soil, each element interconnected. In the same way, our existence is woven into the fabric of the universe. When we act with compassion or harm, those actions ripple outward, affecting the whole. It's a powerful reminder that our energy, thoughts, and actions matter far beyond ourselves. A practical reflection of this truth is in relationships. Have you ever noticed how a kind word or gesture can transform someone's day? That's the power of interconnectedness in action. Each interaction is an exchange of energy, shaping not just others but also ourselves. Prosperity, in this context, isn't just personal, it's shared abundance that uplifts everyone. The concept of interconnection also dissolves the fear of death. If we're not truly separate, then death is not a loss but a return, a rejoining with the vast, infinite universe. Imagine a drop of water falling into the ocean. It doesn't vanish, it merges, becoming part of something far greater. This perspective can bring profound peace and comfort, especially when faced with loss or uncertainty. Meditation on interconnection can be transformative. For example, a common Buddhist practice is metta meditation, where you send loving kindness to yourself, loved ones, and even strangers. This isn't just about feeling good. It's about recognizing the energetic ties that bind us. Over time, this practice nurtures a sense of unity, breaking down barriers of ego and separation. Even in nature, we see this principle at work. Consider the air you're breathing right now. It's been inhaled by countless beings before you. The same molecules that once sustained others are now sustaining you. This simple fact illustrates how deeply intertwined we all are, highlighting the beauty and responsibility of living in harmony with the world. But if the soul is part of a universal whole, how do our individual choices influence the collective? And how can spiritual practices help us align with this greater flow? The answer lies in the transformative power of meditation, mindfulness, and chanting, tools that shape not just your journey, but the shared journey of all existence. Spiritual practices like meditation, chanting, and mindfulness aren't just optional rituals, they're essential tools for shaping your soul's journey. Imagine these practices as a compass, guiding you through the complexities of life and beyond. They help calm the mind, align your energy, and prepare you for the transitions that lie ahead. The Buddha emphasized that inner transformation begins with consistent practice, and the results can be life-changing. Take meditation, for example. It's not just sitting in silence, it's a deep exploration of your inner world. Imagine starting your day with 10 minutes of mindfulness, focusing on your breath or a mantra. This simple habit can shift your mental state from chaos to clarity, creating ripples of peace throughout your day. Over time, it builds resilience and prepares you to face challenges with grace. Chanting is another powerful practice. In Tibetan Buddhism, reciting mantras like Om Mani Padme Hum is believed to harmonize your energy and connect you to higher states of being. Think of it as tuning an instrument. Each repetition aligns your soul with frequencies of compassion and wisdom. Even if you don't fully understand the meaning, the act itself can be transformative, fostering a sense of abundance and inner calm. Mindfulness, on the other hand, is about being fully present in the moment. Have you ever truly savored a meal, noticing the flavors, textures, and aromas? That's mindfulness in action. This practice extends beyond meditation into everyday life, teaching you to approach each task with intention. Whether it's walking, working, or interacting with others, mindfulness turns ordinary moments into opportunities for spiritual growth. These practices also have a profound impact on your energy. Imagine your mind as a garden. Without care, weeds of negativity and distraction take over. But with daily attention, through meditation, chanting, or mindfulness, you cultivate flowers of peace, joy, and prosperity. This metaphor highlights the importance of consistency. Spiritual practices thrive on repetition, not perfection. Real-life examples of transformation through these practices are countless. Many people who commit to daily meditation report improved focus, reduced anxiety, and even physical health benefits. Chanting has been known to foster a sense of connection, while mindfulness enhances relationships and decision-making. These benefits extend beyond this life, shaping the energy you carry into the next phase of existence. But why do these practices matter so much? They're not just about personal enlightenment, they're about contributing to the collective good. When you cultivate inner peace, you radiate it outward, influencing those around you. Spiritual practices bridge the gap between individual growth and universal harmony, setting the stage for profound transformation. Now that you've gained profound insights into the journey of the soul, from the moment of death to the possibility of liberation, it's time to reflect on how this knowledge can transform your life today. Are you living with the awareness that every thought, action, and intention carries the potential to shape not only your future, but the future of all beings? How can you begin to cultivate inner peace, prosperity, and mindfulness in your everyday life, knowing they will ripple out into the universe? The beauty of Buddhist teachings is that they empower you to take control of your own spiritual journey. By practicing mindfulness, meditation, and cultivating positive karma, you're preparing your soul not only for this life, but for whatever comes next. Your energy is always transforming, so why not make it a force for good, for peace, and for the prosperity of all? If you found value in what you've learned today, I encourage you to start integrating these practices into your life. Take a few moments each day to meditate, be mindful, and reflect on the interconnectedness of all things. Let your actions be driven by love, compassion, and wisdom. And if you're ready to continue this journey of spiritual growth, make sure to subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and join us for the next step on this path. Together, we'll explore more ways to harness the power of your soul, shaping a life of abundance and peace that extends beyond this world.